Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for participating in today's forum regarding proposed procedural schedules in several dockets. I'll list them in just a second. And those proposed procedural schedules relate to calendar years 2025, 2026, and 2027. The docket numbers where today's forum is posted, notice is posted, the docket numbers include 2005 83A, 2022 162E, 2023 15E, 2023 16E, 2023 17E, 2025 15E, 2020.
Jocelyn,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes. Mr. Witt?
I couldn't hear you, but I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay. Basically, Mr. Witt, I just began by thanking everyone for participating today. Okay. I thanked everyone for participating today, Mr. Witt, and mentioned that the purpose of today's forum is to review proposed procedural schedules for calendar years 2025, 2026, and 2027. Today's notice of today's forum is posted in docket numbers 2005 83A, 2022 162E, 2023 15E, 2023 16E, 2023 17E, 2025 15E, 2025 16E, 2025 17E, and also in docket numbers 2024 1E, 2024 2E, 2024 3E, 2024 4G, and 2024 5G. I'm Jocelyn Boyd. I'm employed by the Public Service Commission. I just want to make you all aware, if you're not in the room, of other colleagues of mine who are present, and those colleagues are commission staff. Our General Counsel, Joanne Wessinger-Hill, is present. Our Court Reporter, Joe Wheat. Our Calendar Administrator, Elise Wilson. Our Manager and our Clerk of our Clerk's Office, Pam McMullen. Our Security, Joe Biggs. Our Live Stream Producer, Melissa Purvis. And our WebEx expert, Gwen Richardson, are present. I think I mentioned everyone. This time I'm going to ask our General Counsel, Joanne Wessinger-Hill, to take appearances.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. The first on the list, and I'm just doing an alphabetical order of the entity they're representing, Carolina's Clean Energy Business Association. I believe we have Mr. Richard Witt virtually. Mr. Witt? Oh, I see you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress LLCs. I believe we have virtually Tekla Henderson.
That's correct. I'm here. Thank you.
Good to see you, Ms. Henderson. And good to see you, Mr. Witt, too. Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. I believe we have Chad Burgess and Elizabeth Hutton.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated. I believe we have Jason Richardson in the hearing room.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good to see you both. Good
Likewise.
to see you all. South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, Upstate Forever, and Volt Solar. I believe you're represented by Ms. Kate Mixon virtual, and she's appearing virtually.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mixon. Also, the South Carolina Public Service Authority, also known as Santee Cooper. I believe we have Mr. Stephen Pelcher appearing virtually.
I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff, I believe we have Mr. Ben Mushton here in the hearing room.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have I missed anyone that is either appearing in person or virtually? Ms. Boyd, I believe that's everyone that we have appearing today.
Thank you, Ms. Wessinger-Hill. So unless someone has a better idea, I felt that we should, think we should proceed by calling on the parties in the order that comments were filed. So it appears, for example, Mr. Pelcher, on behalf of the Public Service Authority, filed first, and then next I have you, Mr. Richardson. I use the watermark as it should appear on DMS to place my papers in order. Does anyone have a better suggestion? you've probably seen, and you should have been served, our amended proposed schedules yesterday. And what staff, what we did is we reviewed the comments and then made some changes, and we gave you we provided a notice of proposed calendar and schedule updates. And on the back of that, you'll see like a legend that that staff created so that you would hopefully understand the changes in the schedules. Does anybody have an issue with us proceeding with receiving comments based on in the order the comments were filed? Okay. All right, Mr. Pelcher?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, our comments are fairly simple because we don't have as many proceedings as other parties here. I mean, our the big proceeding before the commission that comes up on a regular basis is the triennial IRP. Our only comment, as you know from our original filing, is that the filing date that the commission had established for us at the conclusion of our 2023 RP was a day in September 2026. They didn't specify a day. On the original calendar you put out, I think you used the date that we had in 2023, which was in fact May 15th, 2023. But the commission had changed that date to September. So what we did was in order to give you a date certain, we identified a date in September of 2026, September the 16th, and then we found a date at the very end for the hearing, which was April 5th, 2007. Now, the interval that you had between May 15th, 2026 and December 7th, 2006 was 207 days. The interval between the date that we proposed, September 16th, 2026 and April 5th, 2027 is 202 days. I'll note that the interval between the two dates in 2023 were 204 days. So we wanted to pick a date right in the middle of September for the filing. And we chose April 5th, 2027, because it's sort of approximate to what you had before. We thought about making it, instead of April 5th, April 11th. That would have given us 209 days between the two intervals. I just didn't feel comfortable cutting into the commission's time. I know that you need about some time after the hearing is done in order to complete your work. So anyhow, we have no comments on any of the other calendars or proposals out there. That's really all I have to say this time.
Okay, Mr. Pelcher, also, were you able to review the calendars from yesterday? Do you have any issue with the revised ones that were served?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
And also, we included, after reviewing Dominion Energy's comments regarding the updates, the IRP updates, do you have an issue with the IRP update dates that we included after we received the initial comments?
The IRP update dates, gosh, I'll have to go look at that.
Okay, I'll tell you. So if you look, I think Ms. Purvis, when I find these dates, so you indicated in 2026, September of 2026, that you would wish to file the triennial IRP. So for September of 2025, we placed, and you can see this, should be able to see this on the screen, Mr. Pelcher.
I can.
September 2025, 16th,
Yes.
September 16th, we placed that, your update to be filed there, okay? And then in 2027, it's September of 2027, also, there it is, the month and year, and then on the 16th, that's when Santee Cooper's IRP update will be filed. Are you okay with that?
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, we agree with that.
Okay. let's see. Ms. Henderson, I don't know that you would care. Do you have any comments about Santee Cooper's schedule?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Burgess, Ms. Hutton.
No, ma'am. No
Okay,
comments.
wonderful. Mr. Richardson.
No, ma'am.
Ms. Mixon. Ms. Mixon, I don't think we can hear you if you're speaking. Oh, you're muted. Okay,
No, ma'am.
great. Thank you. All right, Mr. Pelcher's already, and Mr. Mushton.
I don't think so. And I mean, it does. So this kind of corresponds with the Duke IRP, and we agreed with Duke's comments about filing it in August. So, that would kind of stack up, assuming that's the day we go with for Duke. That would kind of have the two IRPs going on kind of back to back, which could be a little challenging. But I mean, I don't really have an objection to it, other than just that may be a little challenging.
Okay, so Mr. Mushton, I realize that your office, has to review all these filings. So if need be, we can give you a little bit of time after this, if you need to file any additional comments.
Yeah, let me, if we could do that, and I might be able to talk with Mr. Pelcher and,
All right.
and with Duke and see. I think we could probably figure something out. But
All right.
that would be great.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on, Mr. Pelcher, unless you have something else.
I have nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Richardson.
Jocelyn, I'm sorry.
Oh, Richard, did I miss you? I
Yes,
did.
ma'am.
I'm so sorry.
Just to make the record
I'm
complete,
sorry.
no comments. Thank you.
Yes. I skipped right over you. I apologize.
That's
That
okay.
won't happen again. I apologize. Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Richardson.
Yes, Piedmont has no additional comments with respect to the PGA schedule.
Okay, thank you. We didn't add anything else for Piedmont on the schedule, Mr. Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
Like for Mr. Pelcher, we added the updates, but that's it. All right, next, Mr. Burgess or Ms. Hutton.
Good afternoon, Ms.
Good
Boyd.
afternoon.
So I had a chance to look at the 3 calendars
Mhm.
that you had posted yesterday, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking into consideration our comments. It looked like that y'all had done everything exactly like we had requested.
Okay.
However, I made a mistake in my
Okay.
comment letter, and I wanted to bring that to your attention.
Okay.
And it specifically dealt with the DSM petition that
Yes.
the company will file in 2027.
All right.
I had indicated in my comment letter that we intended to file that on January the 30th. We actually intend to file that on January the 29th. So that would actually be the last
Okay.
business day of January. In your calendar, you had it set on February 1. Again,
Mhm.
that was based upon me cutting and pasting from a prior paragraph and
Okay.
getting caught. So January 29th is the date that we would make that filing.
All right. So what we're going to do then, where it's like the stop sign. No. Oh, I know. I think it was above in the previous version. It appeared above the deck depth 2027 IRP filing. So we will shift that back to the 29th.
Right, exactly. So
129.
that will, that'll take care of DESC for its DSM filings.
In
And then
27,
also,
okay.
greatly appreciate you giving consideration to the IRP dates that we had presented with the update
Mm-hmm.
filing that will occur on March 31st, and we'll follow that cadence as we kind of move forward
Right.
in time. You've indicated that on the schedule, so thank you
Yes.
for that. And then lastly, I would just say ORS had filed a letter
Mm-hmm.
seeking to slide the PGA dates back by a day or two, depending upon the year.
Right.
And the company doesn't have any objection to that, so we're agreeable with what ORS is suggesting there.
Okay. Ms. Purvis, would you display this Excel spreadsheet? Thank you. So what Mr. Burgess is referring to, and this is posted on DMS too, there were just some dates that ORS prefers, and we've included that. And so we know that ORS This is ORS's preference, and that Dominion Energy South Carolina does not have an objection to it. So thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right.
And that concludes our comments.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Burgess. Okay. So now, Mr. Witt.
We don't have any comments, but thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Henderson.
Thank you, Jocelyn. I'm sorry, it took me a second to get off the mute. As for the company's avoided cost and fuel cost recovery.
Oh,
proceedings,
I was just, Ms. Henderson, I was just asking, I apologize. I think you're next, maybe. I want to know, do you have any comments? You probably don't, about Dominion Energy South Carolina's schedule?
No, ma'am, I do
Okay. I'll come back to you shortly. Mr. Burgess has spoken. Mr. Richardson?
No comments. Thank you.
Ms. Mixon?
No comments.
Mr. Pelcher?
No comments.
Thank you. And Mr. Mushin?
No comments.
All right. Next. Let's see. Ms. Mixon, you're next, please, ma'am. Do you have any comments that you would like to tell us about?
Jocelyn, thankfully this should be pretty short. With the amended schedules, we don't have any concerns about the hearing or filing dates that have been proposed. The only thing that I would note is similar to, as we noted in our comments, we would just ask that the when more specific procedural schedules are issued, that kind of similar timeframes as were followed in the prior IRP cycle and in the last avoided cost cycle are followed, just to allow us sufficient time to review any utility filings.
Okay. And what we'll do too, because the commission for the last set of IRP filings issued an order for procedural schedule, so everyone knew. So that will be our next mini phase for these schedules. Staff is trying to cover the calendars first, and then we'll go back to we'll return to ask for feedback on the IRP procedural schedules, for example, pre-file testimony and pre-file testimony. So, but I have made a note of what you've said, Ms. Mixon. And unless someone wants to speak regarding what Ms. Mixon said, I'm going to move on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Witt.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
So SEBA joins in the comments of Ms. Mixon for her clients. We're in a similar thinking about this. And so SEBA has certainly been an active participant in the last couple of years and certainly plans to in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just support her comments and thank you.
Yes, sir. I've still got to come back to you, Mr. Witt. I know you're somewhere in my stack here. Yep. So we'll be coming back to you again. Okay. Thank you, though. Does anyone else have any comments regarding what Ms. Mixon said? Okay. All right. Now, Ms. Henderson, we're ready for you to please address your client's concerns about the proposed procedures, the proposed calendars, and procedural schedules for the fuel cases.
Thank you. As for the company's avoided cost and fuel cost recovery proceedings, the companies agree with the schedules that have been proposed, both the original commission staff schedule and the amended. It appears that the commission staff has taken into consideration the written comments of the companies as it relates to their IRP proceedings and filing dates, and we appreciate that the next comprehensive IRP filing date has been changed from January 29th, 2027 to August the 14th, 2026. And we have no further comments. Appreciate you taking those comments into consideration.
Yes. So staff, when we looked, we didn't know what to do with that. So we went with the second scenario. But we appreciate the company responding as it relates to the IRP schedule based on what's happened this year. But thank you for responding and indicating what the company or the company's preference. So now, let me start with this. Let me start with Mr. Witt. Do you have any comments regarding Ms. Henderson's comments?
No, but thank you.
Okay, great. And then Ms. Henderson's already addressed. Mr. Burgess, you probably don't have anything.
No, ma'am, no comments.
Okay. Mr. Richardson.
No, ma'am, no comments.
Ms. Mixon.
No comments.
Okay. Mr. Pelcher.
No comments.
Mr. Mustian.
No comment.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Mustian, you're next. And I will post, you've already seen the schedule for the PGA, Purchase Gas Adjustment Proceedings for Dominion. Do you have any other comments at this time?
No additional comments. other
Okay.
than What we filed.
All right. Mr. Witt,
Yes, ma'am.
do you participate on behalf of your clients in the PGA proceedings? I don't recall.
We do not.
You don't? Okay. I don't think anybody else, unless you speak now, I'm going to take that as no one else has any other comments. All right, Mr. Witt, you're next.
We don't have any additional comments right now, but we appreciate your efforts and your staff's efforts in pulling this together. But as of right now, we don't have additional comments. We did file some general comments in this docket.
Yes, sir. Okay. So what will happen next, everyone? We want to allow Mr. Mustian some time to review with his colleagues the schedules. And so I'm going to look at the calendar. Today is September the 4th. Do you think, will Friday, September 20th provide you enough time, Mr. Mustian, to provide us with any feedback?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So the next steps will be we'll look to hear from Mr. Mustian. If someone else has thought of another issue that we've not addressed yet, we ask that you please file those comments in the dockets that were noticed today. And then I'll ask the chair to place this matter on the agenda the first part of October. And then from there, the next step will be I say that, but at some point we just need to ask the commissioners about a schedule for the triennial review schedule like we did before. So I don't think that has, because the next filings won't occur until 2026. So we have a little bit more time, but not much. Yeah, not much. Okay. Mr. Witt, thank you so much for participating. Ms. Henderson, thank you for participating. Mr. Burgess and Ms. Hutton, we appreciate your presence and your participation. Mr. Richardson, thank you so much. Ms. Mixon, we appreciate you participating. Mr. Pelcher, thank you for participating, and also Mr. Mustian. If there's nothing else, we'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jocelyn.
Thank you.
Jocelyn.